He had everything a man could dream of: a luxury apartment overlooking the city, a successful business, expensive watches, tailored suits, and a life people envied. Yet every night, when the city lights faded and silence filled the room, Michael felt something heavy inside his chest. Not pain, not fear, something emptier, something colder: regret. For years, Michael believed success would erase his past. He grew up in a small, quiet town where life moved slowly and dreams often died young. His father was a simple construction worker, quiet, strict, emotionally distant, the kind of man who never said, "I love you," never hugged, never explained, only worked every day, from sunrise to darkness. Michael used to hate him for that. While other fathers laughed, played, and smiled, his father only demanded discipline. Study, work hard, don't complain, don't cry. The world doesn't care about weak men, he would say, over and over again. Michael wanted warmth, understanding, pride. Instead, he got silence and pressure. When Michael was 17, everything broke. "I will leave this place," he shouted one night. "I will become someone, and I will never live like you." His father didn't shout back, didn't argue, didn't stop him. He simply nodded once and said quietly, "Good, be better than me." That calmness made Michael even angrier. The next morning, he left home with a small bag and big hatred in his heart. Years passed. Life was not kind at first. Michael worked low jobs, slept in tiny rooms, counted coins, skipped meals, but he had something powerful inside him: rage. Rage against poverty, rage against weakness, rage against his father. And rage can be fuel. At 25, his life began to change. A small opportunity, a risky decision, long nights, smart moves. He built a small business, then bigger, then bigger. By 32, Michael was rich. People admired him, respected him, envied him. But he never went back home. At first, he was too busy, then too far. Then it simply became normal not to return. His father called sometimes in the early years, short calls, awkward silence, simple questions. "Are you eating well?" "Yes." "Are you healthy?" "Yes." "I'm proud of you." Michael never knew how to respond to that. The words felt strange, uncomfortable, late. Eventually, the calls stopped. Michael didn't notice exactly when. Life moved fast. Deals, meetings, flights, contracts, money, always forward, never back. Until one winter evening. It was snowing when his phone rang from an unknown number. Michael almost ignored it, but something made him answer. A calm, unfamiliar voice spoke. "Hello, is this Michael Turner?" "Yes." "I'm calling from St. Mary's Hospital. I'm sorry to inform you, your father passed away this morning." Silence. Michael didn't feel shock, didn't cry, didn't break. Only emptiness. The funeral was small, quiet, cold like the weather. Few people came: old neighbors, 2 former co-workers, a priest, and Michael, standing in a black coat, staring at a wooden coffin, feeling like a stranger at someone else's goodbye. He realized something disturbing. He didn't really know the man being buried. After the ceremony, an elderly woman approached him. Her hands trembled slightly as she gave him a small, worn envelope. "Your father asked me to give this to you when the time comes." Michael frowned. "What is it?" She smiled sadly. "Truth." That night, back in his apartment, Michael sat alone, the envelope in his hands. It looked old, cheap, ordinary, yet strangely heavy. He opened it slowly. Inside was a letter, handwritten, simple, careful, familiar. "My son, if you are reading this, it means I could not say these words in person. Maybe it is better this way. I was never good with words, never good with emotions. You deserved a warmer father. I know that. But there are things you must know." Michael shifted in his chair. His chest tightened slightly. "When you were 10 years old, your mother became very sick." Michael froze. He barely remembered her, only fragments. A soft voice, gentle hands, a warm smile. Then nothing. "She needed expensive treatment, very expensive, more than I could ever afford." Michael's fingers trembled. "I worked double shifts, then triple. I borrowed money, sold everything we had, but it wasn't enough." His breathing became heavier. "One night, doctors gave me a choice." Michael's heart pounded. "Save your wife or secure your son's future." The room felt smaller. "They said treatment might save her for some time, but there would be nothing left for you. No school, no opportunities, no future." Michael whispered, "No." "I made the hardest decision of my life." Tears blurred the words. "I chose you." Michael dropped the letter. His mind exploded with memories. His mother's disappearance, his father's silence, his coldness, his endless work. All this time, his father wasn't heartless. He was broken. Michael picked up the letter again, hands shaking. "She knew. Your mother knew my decision, and before she left, she made me promise one thing." Michael could barely breathe now. "Make sure our son never lives a small life." Michael tears rolled down his face. "I became strict, hard, cold, not because I didn't love you, but because I feared losing you to weakness, to poverty, to the same helplessness that took her." Michael covered his mouth, sobbing silently. "I watched you grow strong, angry, determined. I saw hatred in your eyes, but also fire, and I knew you would make it." Another line. "I am proud of you, son, more than you will ever know." Michael cried harder, but then he noticed something else inside the envelope. A second paper, different handwriting, soft, gentle. His heart stopped. He unfolded it slowly. "My dear Michael, if you are reading this, it means you became the man I always believed you would be." Michael's hands went cold. "Your father told you he chose you over me, but that is not the full truth." Tears fell onto the page. "I made the decision, not him." Michael shook his head in disbelief. "I asked him to protect you, to push you, even if you hated him for it. Because love is not always warm, my son. Sometimes love is sacrifice." Michael collapsed into the chair, crying uncontrollably. "For years, he lived with guilt, thinking you would never understand, but I always knew one day you would." The last line, "We never left you, Michael. We were always behind you. Every step, every fall, every victory." Silence filled the room. Michael cried like a child. For the first time in his life, he understood everything. Days passed, but something inside him changed forever. Money felt meaningless. Success felt empty. He kept rereading the letters over and over, as if trying to speak with ghosts. One morning, Michael did something unexpected. He returned to his hometown. Same streets, same air, same memories. He visited his old house, small, quiet, humble. He touched the walls that once felt like a prison, and now felt like home. Then he went to the cemetery. 2 graves, side by side. He fell to his knees. "I understand now," he whispered through tears. "I was never alone." Wind moved softly through the trees. For the first time in decades, Michael felt peace. Months later, his life looked different. He didn't quit success. He redefined it. He created a foundation helping poor families afford medical care, helping fathers who couldn't choose, helping children who didn't understand their parents yet. One evening, a small boy asked him, "Why do you help strangers?" Michael smiled gently and said, "Because once someone sacrificed everything for me, and I didn't understand until it was too late." That night, back home, he placed 2 framed letters on his desk. And for the first time in his life, the silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt warm.